Okay, not everything I'm going to say tonight is going to be a joke, and that was one of them. I don't know if you've ever tried to fly. Let me explain how bad it is. My next-door neighbor had a dog that kept running away. He renamed it American Airlines. It never went anywhere again. I love seeing you guys look around like if I'm going to offend somebody. So everybody relax. I'm not going to offend anybody that works for American Airlines, because if they're coming to the show tonight, they're still sitting in their driveway. So, anyway, and none of that has to do with the story. I got on this plane, and it was like 5:30 in the morning, and everybody was real quiet. Nobody wanted to talk, and so I just got on and I sat down, and I was thinking about falling asleep. But the coolest thing happened. This 5-year-old kid just peeked up from the seat back in front of me. Yeah, and he just goes, hee hee, right? Oh, and my heart melted. So I was like, hee hee. Which I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but if you ever are in that situation, don't go hee hee. What you should do is stab him in the eye. I've never played the hee-hee game, but this is the rules. Every 10 seconds, a kid's going to pop up and go hee-hee, and I'm expected to go hee-hee. So the whole time I'm going hee-hee, hee-hee. Anybody else want to play? Hee-hee. What's his mother doing? Yep, she's still drinking. Hee-hee, hee-hee. I love kids, but I'd had it. I don't even know why I did this, but he was like, hee-hee. I was like, ha-ha. Game over. I won. And you know what I won? A different seat on the plane. Right by the Air Marshal Gym. And I was sitting there, this is why I tell you the story. I was sitting there, and so I pulled out the in-flight magazine, and I was reading all this stuff. At first, it was all about, like, the Olympics, which, by the way, this is off the subject, but did you know trampoline is an Olympic sport? Yeah, I don't know. That just shocked me. I was like, do I win gold? You know, what? Really? Come on. What's next? Like tag, hide and seek, you know, like Red Rover? That would actually be cool. You gotta admit, Red Rover, let China come over. Actually, China would win because they can go under our arms. Drink your milk, children. That's my point. But no, so I was reading this in-flight magazine. I love whenever science catches up with how amazing God is. And they had an article in there where it said laughter is 10 times more powerful than morphine. I mean, how cool is that? That God gave us something that's 10 times more, you know. And I mean, I don't want to do away with morphine, let's just be honest. You know, like, I don't want to snap my leg in half and have my doctor standing over me going, knock, knock. Listen to me, you quit screaming, you say who's there. Do it now, this is part of your HMO, come on. So, dude, laughter is a great gift, and I'm so blessed to do it. Oh, the other thing that happened on the plane that was weird was I put the in-flight magazine back in, and I took out my iPhone. I got the iPhone, I caved to the pressure. I mean, don't they make you feel like you have to keep up? Like, I got embarrassed that kids would come up after the show and have a better phone than me. Like, that actually, I was embarrassed at it. Kids would come up and be like, hey, I'm recording your show, not the whole show, just the funny part, so it's only 7 minutes long. I'm uploading it to my Facebook page right now, but we can watch it because I have a picture in a picture. Do you want some popcorn? Hold out your hand. I was jealous. I was like, oh yeah, well, anybody want to play Snake? Or make a call? Nope, I got AT&T. I forgot. No bars. So I did. So anyway, I pulled out my iPhone. I was playing this game called Tap Tap, and the flight attendant came running down and yelled at me. He was like, because we were just taking off. He's like, put your phone up. What are you thinking? And I was like, I'm just playing my. He goes, you got to put that up. And here's what he told me. And I didn't mean to laugh at him, but he goes, if you have your phone on, it messes with the instruments on the plane, and the plane will crash. He actually said that to me. I don't like to call people liars, but if that was true, why would terrorists go to all the trouble to sneak a bomb on the plane? Why would they just jump up in the middle of the flight and be like, oh! I will now fling this angry bird. And we will die like these pigs. He actually said that it's a fence. He said actually you could, if he prosecutes, I to go to prison. He said, nobody's going to prison, but it's actually that big of a deal, which, you know, I'm glad he didn't press charge. I don't want to go to prison at all, but definitely not for doing that. Can you imagine how long I would last? A big 400-pound dude. What are you in for? I'll tell you. I was sitting on an airplane and I had my phone out. And I was playing tap-tap. That's right, so you spread that story. Nobody better mess with me or I'll get you tap-tap. But I did. I got to the hotel and I looked it up that day. Which, by the way, I struggled with whether I should share this on the DVD because I don't like to brag about myself, but I did have a cool thing happen. Because I love whenever you find ways to be Christ-like to people. I got to the hotel and the lady didn't have the room ready and she thought I was going to yell at her. And I was like, you know what? I'm a Christian. I got too much joy to get mad about stuff like that. Besides, there's stuff I can do in the lobby. And because I was Christ-like, she immediately went and got a room for me. And she came out and said, I got a room for you. And I was like, cool. So I put up my toenail clippers. And WWJD is what I'm saying. So, it is. So I love that you guys love comedy enough to come out tonight for this. And, you know, even when I was young, a lot of people encouraged me to be a comedian. A lot of adults. One teacher actually pulled me outside. She was like, God has blessed you. You need to be a comedian. You need to quit school right now. Make your dream come true. I don't know how many of you guys know me, but I grew up in a town with 281 people in it. That's it. We had nothing. We had a little school and a little, I guess it was a store. It's called a drive-through tobacco barn. I don't even know what happened there. I guess rednecks just pull up. I'm like, yeah, fill her up. And we weren't sheltered. I mean, it was a small town, but we had big city problems. We had, you know, teen violence. We had drive-by cow tippings. And we had gangs. We had two gangs. We had the big gang was called the East Side Milkers. They were all like, yo, 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 yo. Then we had the galloping gangsters, and they were all the poor kids, and they couldn't even afford a horse, so you could hear them coming because they just kept clomping those coconuts together. I knew that joke was going to be for 14 people. And totally worth it. But I did. So I grew up in a small town. We didn't have other struggles, you know. I grew up poor. We grew up really poor. I had to wear hand-me-downs from my younger brother. I'm going to let that sink in just a second. Hand-me-downs from my younger brother. I did not look good in capris. And my dad always tried to make us feel like we had what everybody else had. My mom wanted a trash compactor, and so after every dinner, my dad would just pick me up and use me. Oh, I hated that. I remember yelling, no, please, feet first, feet first. So, yeah, and my dad, I guess I got my sense of humor from my dad. My dad has a weird sense of humor. He would do weird stuff. My dad taught me how to play slug bug. You see a Volkswagen Beetle, you punch a person, yeah. He taught me the rules, and then he drove me to a Volkswagen dealership. Or some things I didn't even get for a while. For a year, every time my dad made a cake, my dad would let me, not my brother, let me lick the cake beaters. And, you know, and I thought that was cool. And then one day I realized, you can turn them off first. For a whole year, I was like, he loves me better. No! Some things I didn't even get until I became an adult. Like, he wouldn't even explain it to me, he'd just do stuff, just weird stuff. I remember I was, the first year I was doing stand-up, I was in Florida, not Florida, sorry. I was in Philadelphia. I knew it was a state that started with an F. I am not good at geometry. So, we were in Philadelphia, and this is where I realized my dad had pulled a prank on me because they were like, we don't want to scare you, and we were staying in tents. It was at a youth retreat. They were like, there's bears out here. Do you know what to do if you're attacked by a bear? And I was like, well, yeah, I totally do, because my dad used to tell me what to do right before he dropped me off in the woods when I was little. And he would say every time, he's like, you don't want bears to smell you, so you need to rub meat on your body. Well, what do you do? What do you do if you're attacked by a bear? You guys should know. You guys have bears. Do you have bears? You have a bear on your flag. Come on. What do you do if Play dead, that's what they said. Again, I don't like to call people a what? Whoa, sorry. What? You stand up big. I was a man right till he ate me. They said play dead. I was like, could anybody do that? I mean, honestly, like a bear tearing through your tent, be like, rah! You'd be like, oh. Even if I could do that, the bear's bound to be like, rah! This dead guy just wet himself. And so I stayed up all night afraid that I was going to be attacked by a bear. And the next morning I went down to the creek and there was splash water in my face. And I did get attacked by an evil animal. And if you don't know what this animal is, you're going to think I'm crazy. But it was a goose. It was a Canadian goose. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was an American-hated Canadian goose. Is what it was. They have the big long neck, big furry hat with a chin strap. You know? They don't even honk right. You know, geese are supposed to be like honk. This one was like honk, eh? It came out of nowhere and it bit me and it just scared me to death. So I went running back into the camp and all these kids were out like screaming and all the kids like were panicking. They were like, "What is it? Is it a mountain lion? Is it a bear? Is it Edward Cullen? What is it?" And I'm like, goose. They laughed too. I was like, "No, you don't understand. It came out of nowhere. There was no warning. I thought at least there would be a duck and then a duck and then a." Everybody get it that's gonna get it. No child left behind. So, but no, so my dad would pull all these weird pranks on me, you know? Some I didn't get. I was a pretty strong Christian growing up, so I thought my dad was making changes for me because of that. So every night my dad had me take communion. Finally my brother tipped me off. He's like, dude, he's just giving you NyQuil. So finally tested. I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't there be some bread? And he's like, oh yeah, the bread. What do we? Oh, you know what? Just double up in the juice. God knows our heart. So, and I kind of understand it because here's the deal. I was not a mischievous kid. I was a very obedient, very good kid. I was. But weird stuff happened right around me. And I'll give you an example. My brother, this is something that my dad to this day still thinks that I was the mastermind behind. And I had nothing to do with this, but my brother and I owned a mowing company. We called it Smiley Brothers Mowing Company. We give you mower for your money. I know, we were idiots, but we had a lawnmower, we had a weed eater, we had a leaf blower. Sorry, my brother used to call it a cat blower. I know, I was like, dude, grow up. Call it a feline flinger. Our neighbor got home early, and he walked in, and he heard his wife getting out of the shower, so he immediately ran over. I had nothing to do with this. He ran over, and he's like, can I borrow your leaf blower? He thought it'd be funny to burst into the bathroom while she's blow drying her hair and blow dry her hair, right? That, you gotta admit, pretty cute, and it would have been cool had she known he had gotten home early from work. Or if she had her glasses on. All she saw was a blurry psycho with a chainsaw going, ah! Here's the best way. She screamed so loud, she lost her voice for 2 weeks. Yeah, for 2 weeks, she could not say a word. And then the word got out about how she lost her voice for 2 weeks. And then that's when my dad thought I did it. Because all of a sudden, we've made hundreds of dollars renting that leaf blower to every husband in town. We never mowed the lawn again. We were like Smiley Brothers Leaf Blowing Rental Company. Render her speechless. So we were. So I tried to be a good kid. I really did. You know, it just a lot of times I was inquisitive, and people thought that it was me being smart aleck. Just some things I didn't get. You know, in school especially, I remember I got in trouble for the rules to the fire. The teacher's like, in the middle of a fire, walk, don't run. I was like, if there's a fire. I'm running, okay? It's like, what do you want us to do? Walk down the hallway while flames lick around our body? Like, la, la.